Oh, 007. Gonna be a girl, I think. Now, let's give you some background. Lashana Lynch, actor, actress, whichever is politically correct these days, for Captain Marvel. She is in Bond 25. She is going to be a 007. She's going to be the 007 because Daniel Craig's James Bond has retired. Now, we heard these reports come out, and no one's debunked them. If anything, they've been confirmed. She will have taken James Bond's iconic designation, the number 007, and she's pegged as being some larger than life, you can't touch me, I'm a woman. That's, again, it's just in the reports that came out. Now, when all of this broke, everyone was like, that's, get woke, go broke. I did some videos on it as well, but the title isn't necessarily the content of the video. Some of my titles are always sarcastic or play on words. This is why you really should watch videos before you comment like an idiot. But when the news broke, everyone was like, get woke, go broke, blah, blah, blah. And then there was other people that were sat there saying, it's a subversion of expectation. And I sat there and I said, for the most part, that the only reason this is bad is because it's very clear as day and very plain as day what they're going to be doing, which is going to be setting up a 007 franchise, not a James Bond franchise, and having Lashana Lynch lead it. Now that seems to be confirmed. I'll get into where it seems to be confirmed, then I'll get into kind of why I think that's a bad move. Because, like, I've somehow, I even ended up in some other YouTuber's video just being called like a Neanderthal and a complete idiot. But it's not. I have reasons for it. And it's amazing because these people's arguments are always like, well, you're just a bigot. Okay, you've lost the argument already when you say that, because you clearly haven't taken the time to actually listen to my point. And I don't think I'm right. I'd love to hear anyone's opinion on this. But the reason why this seems to be confirmed, responding to a recent rumour that Captain Marvel actress would be introduced as an MI6 agent sporting the iconic spy's codename in the still untitled Bond 25, writer Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Fleabag, Solo: A Star Wars Story, told The Hollywood Reporter that the whole thing has potential to birth new iconic characters all the time. Now, we don't have to just take this word for it. I've literally got the whole thing here. So it says, there's something about James Bond that's always intrigued me in a similar way that Villanelle did. They live a fantasy, but it's a life none of us would ever want if we're honest. We don't want to go put a bullet in someone's head, to sleep with people and have martinis. It's a kind of fantasy nightmare. Now, asked about reports that Bond 25 actress Lashana Lynch will be picking up the 007 mantle, so they worded it a bit awkwardly in that comicbookmovie.com article. She says the whole thing has potential to birth new iconic characters all the time. So she's asked very specifically, will Lashana Lynch be 007 moving forwards? Yes, there's potential for that. This is what I said. She's cognizant and somewhat suspicious of the mild frenzy around her contribution. I don't think anyone cares that she's on board. A lot has been made of me coming on board because I'm a woman, and that's wonderful. But also I can't take credit for the movie that was written. It's Kerry's movie. Kerry Fukunaga, or however you say his name. I mean, that's not really the case, is it? Let's be honest. I don't think anyone's really cared that much that she's on board. Now, let me just explain why I think... Well, kind of reiterate, I guess, why I think it's a bad move that they just take James Bond out of it. Let's take a look at Ian Fleming, the writer, the creator of the James Bond books. They're not 007 books. So, to remove James Bond as the linchpin of the franchise, to push it off elsewhere, is a very strange move for many, 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 many reasons. Now, a lot of people will cite subversion of expectations and things like this, but really, who is that then for? Because James Bond as books and James Bond as movies, outside of the eye candy part of James Bond for women, which is a massive part of it, right? You only have to talk to literally generations of people to say, well, which was your favorite James Bond, and they'll tell you why, and the women will tell you exactly why. Outside of that, who would this be for? A female-led 007 franchise, but not a James Bond franchise. Bearing in mind, and this is where I think they really do a disservice, and I've said this from the get-go, they really do a disservice to females on a whole, because can a woman lead the 007, like a 007 franchise or a James Bond franchise? Yes. Of course they can. But they shouldn't, because they should be given their own franchise. Don't leech, create a cool character. People will like it. There was Halle Berry's character that people wanted a spin-off of. People were asking for that for ages because she was a cool character. And this is where people do a massive disservice and shoot themselves in the foot for their own representation's sake, is they say, yes, we can do this, yes, we should have this, but you're literally getting a leg up by the old franchise, that's not right. Create a cool character. People will love it. If the character's cool and well written, people will like it. Halle Berry's character, people really liked her. People wanted to see more of her. Write a cool character. But to introduce Lashana Lynch as 007, then have her lead the franchise moving forwards as 007, is doing a disservice to women. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is. Because the only reason people will watch that initially is because 007's in the title. You shouldn't need a man's title, which that is, typically speaking, in pop culture, to make a good, strong female movie. I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm going a bit insane and people don't really... Or maybe just the world's going insane. But this is what I said from the get-go. This was my argument from the start, really. Is that this is a bad move because this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen, and the evidence mounts up even further. Now, the fact that she's black, I literally couldn't give a flying fuck. I don't care. The fact that she's a woman, again, I couldn't give a shit. I don't care. But if you're going to do representation for representation's sake, do it properly. Make it from the ground up. Create a character people will love. Create a cool character. An engaging character. And people go, oh, well, that's not easy because think about all these other characters that have been made and people haven't responded to them. Like who? If you're going to say Rey and Rose Tico, or whatever her bloody name was, why are we engaged with these characters? We're not engaged with them for a reason. Rey is a bloody Mary Sue. She displays more power than anyone ever has and has had absolutely no training. Fails up in life. It's not relatable. Make relatable, cool characters with flaws, and you'll have yourself a franchise to yourself. So anyway, there you go. There's my there's my 2 cents on it all. Anyway, guys, if you are new here, please do hit subscribe. You can stay up to date on the world of pop culture, movie news, movie reviews, and also, bizarrely enough, a Project Car video now. That was dropped today. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I have a missed age. Take care.